Well, what do you know? Chasing Cardboard missed the point again. What a shock. We are going to react to the live stream, although I didn't watch the live stream. I was actually at a Disturbed concert last night. Rock on, everyone. I missed the live stream last night by Chasing Cardboard, but I did watch the recap by Because I'm Carlos and actually really enjoyed that. It's about 30 minutes, but it does break down, I guess, the highlights of that live stream. But before I get started, huge shout out to today's video sponsor, Whatnot, place where you can get card show level cards without leaving the comfort of your own couch. All the sports card, non-sports card, singles that you could want, all in one app. Check out Whatnot. All right, so let's recap the story. We're talking about rock autographs. Rick said they're real, rock autographs. And there was one in particular that was sold. Let me make sure I have this right. I'm just kind of recapping here. Sold for about $60. Now, what happened on eBay here was the card was not authenticated, this autograph. The person bid on it, they won it, but just to be careful, they went and got a BGS quick opinion autograph, quick opinion thingy-mabobber, and it came back probably not authentic. So showed that to the Chasing Cardboard people. They actually gave them some guff, a little bit of like, hey, then why did you bid then? Which, fine, but then they ended up taking it down or closing it out. Then they relisted it, and that's when Sports Card Radio reached out, and then that's when Ty had said, you know what, this isn't really giving me the warm and fuzzies, and then pulled it down after the second time. Sports Card Radio ended up making videos. I made a video about this, but also wrapping in a larger topic into it that I'm just not a huge fan of selling unauthenticated autographs. We'll talk more about that later. And so what happened is they took it down, Sports Card Radio made videos, and then they sent it off to PSA to get authenticated, after they also made their own kind of rebuttal video where they were upset about my video was featured in there, as well as Sports Card Radio, and talking about how, you know, there's a mob mentality here, good hobby content versus bad hobby content. It wasn't relevant to what was actually being discussed, and that was really just if you're not sure if something is authentic, why relist it? That part in the live stream last night was addressed. Ty did say I should not have relisted it, after the fact, knowing that they came back authentic. So, spoiler alert, PSA came back that the two rock autographs are authentic. So I know in their mind, they feel vindicated to some degree, but that wasn't the point in the first place. The point was why wasn't it authenticated first? And one of the responses that I saw from the Chasing Cardboard team was hey, we grade hundreds of cards a month. We can't get to all of them. Which is kind of like saying, hey, I know we have these Michael Jordan autographs, but they didn't make it into the grading pile this month. You know, we decided not to grade this 52 Topps Mantle, you know, or whatever. I mean, like, rock autographs are very wanted. They're very wanted. And so the fact that they did not grade them from the get-go, that was the question mark. And then, you know, it's a snowball of things. So I know that the live stream, they probably feel great about the fact that it came back authentic, and good on that part, but that was the whole point in the first place, is why not do this first and then go back and sell the thing? Or you go to authenticate it, and if they say it's no good, then you can burn it or whatever. I don't know, whatever they were going to do with it at that point. But I'm going to go back to the original video, and because it did talk about this in particular, but I got some pushback from the TTM crowd and the autograph collector crowd. And look, if you are a collector of these things, that's not a knock. It's perfectly okay if that's what you want to do, buying these sorts of things off of eBay, and then maybe you're sending them in to get authenticated. I don't know what it is, but especially with the whole card point situation, with, you know, just trying to get something authenticated to boost value. When we're looking at this sort of thing, was it Maygray that was looking at these photo matches to authenticate the jersey? I talked about this. I hope that Fanatics moving forward just takes the stuff, authenticates it there. It's either, you know, it's signed, or if it's game used, boom, it's authenticated. I know the NBA does this to some degree anyway, because I've seen them sell this directly from their website, the NBA, I'm saying. You know, so I know this is kind of already being done, but I hope that this is really kind of a focus moving forward, because the older stuff now, the historical sports memorabilia and autograph stuff, it's a little Wild West-ish in the sense that, you don't have a lot of authenticators. These sorts of things can get passed through. Mistakes can be made. And look, in this particular instance with the Jordan jersey, it went from a $27,000 jersey to a $1 million plus jersey just because it got through authentication. And look, scammers are going to try to get this stuff through, and going back to, buying unauthenticated autographs on eBay, you go back to Project Bullpen in the 90s where the FBI did a bunch of autograph forgers. And look, there are people that are very, very good at this. There are calligraphers that are people that are excellent, handwriting experts that are excellent at this. And the FBI back in the 90s surmised that a lot of the entertainment autos, I remember going to card shows in the mall where there was, actor autos all over the place. Dealers had them everywhere. And the FBI surmised that a large portion of these were fakes. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like that just all ended at Project Bullpen in the 1990s. That, they made that bust. It's kind of like, to me, it's almost like, the war on drugs. It's like, we found this like, 10 tons of cocaine here. So we're good. We must have caught everything. Maybe I'm overly paranoid, maybe. But for me, this is really tricky when you're looking at something on the internet and assuming that it's real. And people will come and say in the comments, you need to do your research, you need to do your due diligence and really study autographs. I get that. But those rock autographs that got authenticated, I did look at the Chasing Cardboard rock autographs, and then I looked at some other authenticated ones. They looked different to me. They looked different. Now, there are people that sign differently over time. That's something that Carlos brought up in his reaction video is, you might have an autograph that was signed in 1975 and now they sign it differently in 2000. I've got just a very recent example, Millie Bobby Brown, Stranger Things, 11 on Stranger Things. She now signs MBB. And this is literally like 5 years later. She has her signature kind of for the show that she did, and it was like Millie with 011 for 11, or it was just Millie. And now it's MBB. And this is literally like a few years later. So authenticating autographs, as Carlos had mentioned, has got to be the hardest thing out there. The autographs changing and not having an eyewitness account, unless it is it's a signing, it's a sit-down signing, and you've got the authentication happening right there. There's a witness, a Beckett witness or a PSA witness or a JSA witness or whatever it is. Again, just with the current climate and everything going on in the news, it's just, maybe I'm just overly paranoid, but just not a fan of it. I get it if you're collecting it. I understand it. If you're collecting, Hall of Fame autographs, you got them in a binder or something, and you're kind of building that out. But the idea of selling them is tough to me, in my mind, unauthenticated. And again, going back to Chasing Cardboard, maybe that is something that's done every day on eBay. Maybe that is something, but that's just something I'm not a fan of. And again, opinion piece. Maybe this is just my opinion. Maybe others out there are going to say, hey, you're dumb. I'm perfectly fine buying and selling unauthenticated autographs on the World Wide Web. And that is perfectly okay. But again, going back to the initial reaction to these guys, it was just the way that they had reacted and then doubling down on it, as opposed to just coming out and saying like, I shouldn't have relisted it, missed on that one, would have avoided so much. And then now, of course, it's just going to be like, we were right the whole time, and then just completely miss the entire point of what actually happened. But anyways, good luck to them on their show. Highly produced show. They do a good job with all the editing and that sort of thing. So check out Chasing Cardboard if you haven't already. It might be a show for you. All right, friends, stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.